Chapter 7 discusses the types of software for teacher tasks, and this is split into the productivity, the classroom management, and the apps. So before reading this chapter, I wasn't 100% sure on the sorting queries and reports of database management with software. But after reading the chapter and going through the presentation, I've understood that sorting is just sorting out different data and writing up reports. It makes it easier for the teachers to access certain types of information. So word processing was discussed, and this kind of software helps with spelling and grammar, copy, cut, paste, clip art, tables and columns, and saving. And as a teacher, technology is used so much, word processing is a much easier and quicker way for students to write up work. It's efficient because they can learn to spell and grammar at the same time. And as teachers, it can be easier to mark because there's going to be less mistakes, and it's online. You don't have to print off paper and write notes, and if you do it wrong, you don't have to scribble out, you can just backspace. So it's much more easier for the teachers and students. The chapter then talks about spreadsheets, and spreadsheets can be used for charting, formulas and functions, and the what if problem, which means that data is put in a mathematical form and it sorts out the information straight away. So spreadsheets for a teacher, instead of having to calculate a student's grade, they have the formulas already set up and you just import the grade for that student and the computer automatically calculates the score and then the teacher has it really quickly. So again, it's a really quick and easy way for a teacher to stay organised without taking up too much of their time. And as a teacher, a spreadsheet would definitely be something I would use with grades and importing all sorts of data about the students. So again, then it talks about the database management, which talks about the sorting, queries and reports. The chapter then talks about presentations. So presentations, it's kind of like word art, but most students now, and my experience of word art is using for presentations. So I would use slideshows when I'm presenting to my class, and that gives slides, graphics, hyperlinks. Presentations are seen as a more interactive way to teach, and as students may learn easier through presentations because they can interact, with something to watch. You can import videos, it's not the same sheet all the time. So my experience as a student is that presentations are really good for teacher-student interaction and keeping the students engaged in the classroom activity. Finally, the textbook talks about different apps. As technology is rising, apps are becoming widely used. iPads, laptops are being more used in the classroom, and there's different apps for learning. For example, there's many math apps that students can use, and as a teacher, this can help save preparation time for preparing for a class. The teacher could just ask the students to use the app and you can cover all the material needed for that particular chapter. As a teacher, if I was in an environment where I was able to use that iPad as a technology, if we were fortunate enough, apps would definitely be something I'd incorporate into my classroom.